Hello, I'm Michaela and this is my February wrap-up and March TBR. The first thing that I read was The Woodcutter by Kate Danley, and this is a fairy tale retelling that I didn't really like very much. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, and I thought it had far too many fairy tale characters and the plot was all over the place and it didn't really make that much sense, and I overall didn't like that book at all. The next book that I read was Insurgent by Veronica Roth, and a lot of you will know what happens in this book, so I won't go into too much detail because it might spoil things for you. The next book is The Secret Scripture by Sebastian Barry, and I have just uploaded a video review of this book, so I will put that in the description and you can find out what I thought of that in that video. The next book was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and this is about a young boy who witnesses the death of a family member and goes to Ireland, I think it is, and discovers things, as you can probably figure, and I won't explain more than that because that would spoil the whole thing. And I can't remember what I gave this, but I think it was a 4 or 5 stars on Goodreads. The next thing that I read was A Shade of Vampire, A Spell of Time by Bella Forrest, and this is so far a 10-part series with a spin-off trilogy, and there is another book out probably in the next 2 months for this series, and you've probably seen us talk about this series quite a lot, so I'll not go into detail. And the last book I read this month in February was The Witch Child by Celia Reese, and this was a reread that I first read when I was around 13 or so, and it was probably just as good, and I remember it the same from when I first read it, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. So in February I read a total of 6 books, that is the equivalent of 2,143 pages, and up to now I've read 17 books, and if you're interested in the numbers, that would be 4,919 pages. I doubled it halfway through the Goodreads challenge, which will be put up at some point just to keep the challenge, and I hope you're interested in those numbers for the wrap up, and I will go straight on to the TBR. So what I plan to read this month is Prince of Hazel and Oak by John Lenahan, and I did read the first book, which was Shadow Magic, and this one also has a podcast available for free, and hopefully I could read along with that, so it's just as an enjoyable read as the first book, which is a middle grade fantasy novel. The next book is a bit late because, going by the title, The Mistletoe Bride, it's a little bit wintry, and it's by Kate Moss, and I don't really know much about the content of this book, so I can't really explain that to you, but hopefully it's good. The next book is Pirates by Celia Reese, and I do plan to read this because of the previous book I've just read, which was Witch Child, which I did enjoy as a 13-year-old. And the last one I have planned is Storm Chaser from The Edge Chronicles, which is the second book in the Twig trilogy, and there is about 12 or 13 books or something out, but they're put into the trilogies to make it easier for middle grade students to read. So hopefully I will read an extra book because most of those books are quick reads. I would like to apologise for any audio problems that have been occurring in my videos recently, and I have inquired about this with the software company to see if it's their fault or if it's the microphone on my computer, so hopefully this will be sorted sooner rather than later, and I hope you liked the video all the same, and I'd just like to say thank you for your watching.